Everything I pretty much talked about the Coral, the Not Good Enough Guild, and what has happened, but haven't talked one more thing, and that is my community back in the day. Uh, I actually started to do a lot of PvP back in the day when I found some of my language guys, so Hungarian guys, I'm gonna call it Hungarian guys, which I had so much fun do some PvP and stuff like that. We had a lot of fun, but after I joined Coral, those guys are pretty much left the game. Only one or two guys stayed, and after that, pretty much nothing happened. I haven't found my community and stuff like that, and when I was in Coral, I found some guys randomly in a pug run when they doing the Nova Story mode. They haven't got the chance to doing it, but I actually leaded them to do the Nova Story mode at that time, and I said to them, I'm actually realizing them those are Hungarian guys. So I started to talk to a lot of them, and those guys are actually really just fun to just go in and have some fun, chat with them, stuff like that. Uh, After the first expansion, I believe, the Rise of the Hot Cartel, there was that community became much larger than I ever thought it's gonna happen. The new bosses came around. We wanted to do more opses. We wanted to make it more seriously and stuff like that, and we actually did. So I think when Scum and Villainy came out, that was the first like big achievement to that community what we done in story mode, because they are like, those people who are not taking the game seriously. They just wanted to have fun and not really focusing on the gear and such. So I not pretty much convinced them, but I used my advantages what I had on those guilds, and lead them to pretty much victory. And we done the seven, like all seven bosses on Scum and Villainy. They are so happy. There is a screenshot right here where we actually hear and celebrate. So I started to talk to them a little bit more, and they said that they doing some kind of meetups where they just going around to a pub, have some fun, drink a lot, and after that leave. So I think they done one time. So they starting to set up a new meetup after, I don't know, a couple of weeks and stuff like that. And I said, okay, why not to go ahead, go in there and have some fun. I literally don't know any of these people in a real life. So I don't know any of these guys. I only know it in game. So I decided to, why the hell not? Let's go there, have some fun, and maybe it's gonna be bad, but maybe it's gonna be good. But who knows? I don't want to go in there. I'm the type of person who just goes in there and say, okay, how's it going, stuff like that. What have you done? I don't want to go in and start talking about what this item sells, or how do you get that gear and stuff like that. I'm not that kind of a person. If I wanted to see you in the real life, say, okay, how do you get that gear and stuff like that. I want to talk about real life stuffs. Okay, sure, we can talk about the game, but not that much. I'm that type of person. But at the end of the day, this was probably when I felt the first time ever. This was really surprising in a positive way. I met these guys. There was so many people in there. Like we were 20, 25, or 20 plus for sure. We were there. We just having so much fun there. So there was one girl in our guild. She actually came as well to have some fun with us. There was like the total picture of us doing this like weird stuff. We were a little bit drunk in that time, and what surprised me is actually the age between these guys. So there was actually between 20 and 25. There was actually a 30-year-old. There was actually even a 50-year-old dude, which is that guy was actually hilarious. And the fun fact about that, that guy is actually working on Project Red, CD Project Red, who's doing the Witcher series. I've actually really had a fun doing that experience. Uh, and he actually loved playing SWTOR and asked me a lot of like, at that time I don't really care about what we talking about and stuff like that. He asked me about how to make much more credits, because I was the richer guy in that time as well. So those guys had around 1 or 2, 3, 4 million, and I had around 50, 60 million. And a lot of people just say, how do you get that much credits? Give it to me. But I'm not. But literally, this was the first ever meetup I actually went in, like as a guild meetup, and it was so surprisingly good that I actually never forget this moment. Even though it was like we started the meetup at 7 p.m. ish, and we ended up at almost 3 a.m. and I couldn't go home because there was no bus in that time and anything. So actually, one of the guys in the guild ordered a taxi, but I said I don't have enough money now since I used it for drinks, and he said, okay, don't worry about it. And I was just literally the first time we met and say, okay, there is the payment for the taxi. He's gonna go through your home for free. And I was like, okay, thank you so much for that. And that was really, really surprising. I know there is a lot of Hungarian communities in my subscribers list and everything as well, and I know there is a lot of Hungarian communities playing this game as well. So if I wanted to go suggest something for you guys or for any communities, not just mine, but for any, there can be a positive feedback after all. Because even though if you talking about, okay, that guy is bad, that guy is not really good at the game, maybe in real life you were realizing how good that guy is, or how fun that guy is, or how just surprisingly a good person in general. I would say if you were in doesn't really matter which guild you were at the time. First off, you need to trust that some people, and second of all, you just need to enjoy the moment, and that's all you need to do. If you're having one player in your guild and just wanted to talk for like 30 minutes or something like that, that is just an amazing thing to do. So yeah, this was one of the funniest, surprisingly good experiences as a first ever meetup in like a guild meetup. I never actually had that one before to ever happen, and it was surprisingly good. And yeah, I literally don't know what to say other than that. Thank you.